Okay, so before you guys skip along during the beginning part, there is something I forgot to mention while editing this video, or actually making this video. Even though this video is not intended to be a loadout guide, this is just more of me explaining the ins and outs of the power. I did not bring up range, which was partially or partly intentional, and if you guys do want to know a little bit more about range with gadgets or just a range loadout specifically, I will be leaving a playlist on the top right of the screen just about now of every updated loadout guide. If you guys want to switch to a certain power, then hey, that can be something that can get you started with a loadout. But besides that, I do stream every day at 8 p.m. every day Eastern time, so hey, come check it out, ask me some questions if you guys want. But without me wasting any more time, let's get straight into the intro.
Just getting started!
Yo, what is going on, my wonderful but amazing people? It's your boy RealGamers with another DC video. Now look, I'm making this video because some people are actually wondering what is gadgets like. I want to switch to it, but what should I expect? What artifacts do I need? How do you clip? What is clipping specifically? What is the main loadout that most people use? And I want to say this right now, this video is not intended on being a loadout video. This is just more of a, what do you expect when wanting to switch to a top tier power like this? So please, once again, please bear with me. I possibly will not get through every tiny little detail, but at the same time, I will be talking about those key points as far as what you will need, how do you get yourself set up like I said earlier, and just basically the ins and outs, like what artifacts you need, for example. But besides that, let's get straight into the video. Hopefully you guys enjoy. So the first thing I would like to start talking about are the artifacts. Now, when talking about the three main artifacts that will be most usable for this power, I would recommend the transformation card, Scrap of the Soul Cloak, and Eye of Gemini. Mainly transformation card, everybody knows what it does. Scrap of the Soul Cloak, which most people don't understand what's the best level to rank this up to. Most people weren't here during the double XP, so you guys probably or possibly didn't even worry about ranking this artifact up. But say if you did, I would recommend this artifact to be at 160 or even 200. If it's on 140 or 120 or even 80, you're not going to be getting that much effect of it, if that makes any sense. Basically, like I said, 200 would be most preferred because every time you pop a supercharge, it does restore 7% of your supercharge back to you, and unfortunately you can't stack it with the chest mod. But say if you don't even have it ranked up to rank 200, there are chest mods in this game where it gives you an additional 5% supercharge back for every time you spam a supercharge, if that makes sense. Now, speaking of the Eye of Gemini, the Eye of Gemini can be misled by so many people as far as if you should rank it up to 160 or even 200. I personally have mine at 159, which is more than enough damage for me. The biggest differences from 160 to 200 are, of course, you're getting extra stats, so your stats go from 3% to 4%. On top of that, your gaze's circle that spawns under you will be up for an extra 2 seconds. So, I mean, those are the big differences from 160 to 200, which, I mean, it's up to you if you want to do that or not. I personally prefer to invest money, or not invest money, but just invest your nth metal into the 160 and don't worry about 200. That's just me, but like I said, it's up to you. Okay, so speaking of the single target artifacts, what I would prefer anybody to do when going single target is run the amulet, grim, and transformation card. The grim, so you can have that constant PI and you have that 5% increase to your stats. Now say if you don't have the grim, you can just replace it for the solar amplifier. Now speaking of the transformation card, everybody should always know this, but transformation, you can't go wrong in any direction when using this artifact. So these are the three artifacts I will prefer you to use: amulet, transformation, and grim. Now if you don't have the grim, like I said, just replace it for the solar. Now the next thing I want to explain is clipping, where a lot of people don't understand what clipping is with gadgets or how to do it. So I just want to explain something really quick to you guys, which clipping is a form of, it can be two things. It can be one, a form of getting a rotation out quicker, and what I mean by that is instead of doing cyclone push and then vortex cannon, how you see it's super slow when doing it, clipping those two moves can be something like this, where I basically got both of the damage out, but I went through the rotation a little quicker. That can be one form of clipping. Or the second form could be when you get double the damage from a single target move. What I mean by that is, for example, paralyzing dart, how it only has one hit, and I have my parsers right here, so I made it to like 1 second so you can see how much damage I do. But as you guys see, if I throw a paralyzing dart, I'm gonna wait for it to crit, but 39k. So as you guys see, one hit did 39,126 damage. Now, as you guys know, stealth with gadgets doesn't do any damage. As you guys see, I'm in stealth mode and I didn't have a hit pop up. Now, if I was to do paralyzing dart and clip it into stealth, you're gonna notice that those 2 ticks of damage is, instead of hitting for 1 tick, it's gonna do 2 ticks. And as you guys see, those 2 hits of damage I did a lot more than just throwing the move on its own. So that's basically another form of clipping. So basically explaining suppressor turret, how you guys were seeing me jump cancel it earlier. So basically there are 2 mechanics that go to it, and I'll show you guys an example as well. But suppressor turret can be used for 2 ways, as far as just taking it out regularly and hitting the ad so it can do damage, or I'm going to take it off really quick, or it can be used in a way of taking it out, but as the animation is loading on the bottom of the screen, you can jump and it'll cancel the animation and allow you to hit your next move a little quicker than usual. So what I mean by that is how I was doing this earlier. That's basically the form of clipping with suppressor turret. Okay, so I'm going to hopefully stay at this line right here, if you guys see what I'm talking about, and I'm going to show you each move one by one, and then I'll back up and show you guys each move while clipping. So I'm gonna do this really quick. I'm hitting each move without clipping them together. I'll back up really quick, and what was the parser? So I had a 34.8% crit chance with 23 hits, and it was a 30k parser. Now if I was to actually involve clipping, and now if I was to back up, I had lesser hits but a higher crit chance, and that brought my parser from a 30k to a 35k. So that just shows you how much clipping will do from a loadout that is basically a left to right versus actually combining each move together. Okay, so that basically explains everything, and the final thing I will explain really quick, well, actually that just contradicted everything. You know what, anyways. Okay, so the last thing I will explain is single target. Now with single target, it's a bit similar to melee, where you're just basically clipping a lot of moves together. There's nothing too special about it, besides when you do get into your stealth form, when you do get a little bit more advanced with the whole clipping mechanic, you can combine clipping moves in your stealth loadout as well. So for example, with me, what I'm doing is I'm doing cyclone push, returner normal, and taser pull. These are going to be the 3 moves I'm clipping whenever I go into stealth, or unless I'm on a single target boss where he or she's not going to really do that much damage, and I'll just hit surprise attack. But I just clip these 3 moves like so, get those 3 ticks of damage off, and then I'll just return through the rotation. So like I said, this really wasn't a loadout video to begin with. This was just more of how to clip. And if you guys do want to see some damage with what I do with single target, I mean, this is what you can expect when you go single target. And also keep in mind, I do have the target over my head just because my might's 87. Let me just take off the headpiece so I won't be knocking the ad back and forth. Now my might is 85, which is base. Completely messed up. I'll get it back. It doesn't really matter. 51. $55. I'm sorry for the button mashing at the same time. Clip those 3. 50. I'll do one more after this one. Surprise attack missed. And a 60k parser. I'll just do one more. 57. So I mean, those are just my parses with single target. Nothing too special. Like I said, this wasn't really a loadout video. So like I explained, there's not really anything too special with single target. That was just a little example of what I can do. Some people are more curious about single target than melee or range, because single target, everybody wants to know how much boss damage they can do. But anyways, hopefully you guys learned something throughout this gadget video. Expect more videos in the future. Please let me know down below in the description, or not in the description, in the comments, what power you guys want me to do next. What's good, Raph? But anyways, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next video, and take care.